Hey, my name is Charlie Lee. I'm the creator of Lite Coin. I'm also the engineering manager of the product team at Coinbase. And I'm really excited today here to talk to everyone on Zapchain.
What was your earliest experience with Bitcoin?
I first heard about Bitcoin in April of 2011. I read an article about Silk Road. I wasn't really into drugs, but the Bitcoin part of it was really exciting to me. I thought having like a decentralized currency that anyone can participate in, and you don't have to rely on banks, central banks, and the currency has a fixed quantity, so you can just print as many coins as you want, or the government can't print money. I think that's really powerful, so I started researching it. I pretty much read everything I can about Bitcoin at that time, and back then in 2011 you can really read everything about Bitcoin online, which is pretty amazing. And so I did that. I pretty much lived, breathed, and did everything related to Bitcoin, just kind of absorb everything. And because of the Silk Road article, the price shot up to $30, which is when I bought my first Bitcoin at $30. And then soon after I bought my first Bitcoin, it kept dropping and dropping and dropping. All the hacks came out. Mt. Gox got hacked. The price kept falling, and then and that was how I started.
Your Twitter handle is Satoshi Lite. Has anybody ever told you that sounds like the name of a beer?
No. I guess I can see that. Satoshi Lite, like Bud Light. Actually, my Twitter handle used to be Litecoin Cobbly, which is the username, the handle I used on Reddit, on Bitcoin Talk forums, Cobbly. And Cobbly was taken, so I used Litecoin Cobbly. But it was just kind of a mouthful. And then I think someone mentioned that, I don't remember exactly when this happened, but someone called me Satoshi Lite, and that kind of just stuck. And I decided to change the Twitter handle to Satoshi Lite, like the light version of Satoshi. And funny thing is, someone actually grabbed my old handle and tried to pretend to be me, because a lot of old tweets and everything was linking to Litecoin Cobbly. So I had to message Twitter and ask them to take it down.
Talk about Coinbase's new exchange. How long did it take to get off the ground, and what was involved?
Sure. We actually started building a team to work on the exchange back in, I think, around April, May of last year. So we realized that kind of the next step for Coinbase is to actually becoming an exchange. We were getting money transmitter licenses, so it kind of made sense to get into the exchange space. But there was also the issue of we don't want to like cannibalize our own product, or like regular conversion buy-sell product. So we had to think through a lot of strategy and try to figure out what's the best way to launch an exchange. And we also wanted to build the best one out there, right? We want to build a US-based regulated exchange, but we also want to be like the most secure, the fastest, supporting high-frequency trading via API. So we built a really good team and built the exchange from scratch pretty much. So it wasn't relying on the Coinbase infrastructure. So we kind of built it from scratch, and it's really fast, it's really good, and I think it's doing really well.
What are your current thoughts on the state of Litecoin?
The state of Litecoin. So a lot of people are kind of disheartened in the Litecoin community because of the price. Earlier, like a year and a half ago, when the Bitcoin price shot up to 1,000, the Litecoin price shot up to like over $40. And because Litecoin is such a speculative currency, it's even more speculative than Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin price goes up, Litecoin price goes up even more. And I think the inverse is also true. Bitcoin has dropped from 1,200 to less than 300 now, and Litecoin right now is less than $2. So it's a huge drop for Litecoin, and that has gotten, like, a lot of people got in when the price went up. Similar to how I got into Bitcoin when it hit $30, because everyone hears about it and they got all excited and buy into Bitcoin at that time, and then it dropped to $2, and a lot of people got sold because they thought it was going to die. I think the same thing is happening to Litecoin. And Litecoin is kind of in a similar state that Bitcoin was in 2011, right? It's more of a speculative currency. Some merchants support it, but not a lot. The trade volume is really high, but real world use case is still pretty small. So I think it will take some more time for Litecoin price to come back. But if Bitcoin ever comes back, which I believe it will, Litecoin will follow.
What are your thoughts about the state of altcoins in general?
So altcoins, there's quite a few different altcoins. Like there's a lot of scams in the altcoin space where the creator would create an altcoin and try to market it as something really special and convince people to buy in at the price. And the creator might have pre-mined a lot of coins or just posted fake information about like take PayCoin for example. I'm not sure that it's a scam, but it just seems like it from looking at right now, where they announced that they have partnership with Amazon, with Walmart accepting PayCoin, and the price, and then they also announced they're going to back the coin at $20, right? They're going to buy the coin at $20, so there's a price floor, which is ridiculous if you think about it. But people get suckered into it. They buy the coin at $15 thinking that, oh, it's going to go to 20 because some company is going to buy it back at 20. So it's obviously going to make the money. And sadly, greed is what motivates people, and then they get hurt. So there's a lot of that going on in the altcoin space. Then there's also altcoins that are really trying to do something different, and it's hard for these coins to actually kind of bubble to the top, so to speak. It's hard for these coins to actually convince users that they're not scams. They're actually trying to do something interesting and different. And unfortunately, because it's such a messy environment, it's almost impossible to filter out, to separate the scams versus the non-scams. And also, I think it's a little bit too early for the altcoin scene. Kind of Bitcoin has not really succeeded yet. So, and Bitcoin is the main cryptocurrency. I think it will be next to impossible for any altcoin to overtake Bitcoin. So in terms of the timing, like if you can't convince the average person why Bitcoin is useful, why they should hold Bitcoin, good luck trying to convince them about any other altcoin. So I think over time, as Bitcoin becomes really used by everyone, then you'll start to see the 2 or 3 major altcoins take its space alongside Bitcoin as also useful alternative currencies.
How will Coinbase use its recent $75 million investment funding?
Yeah, so we got money at a time where the Bitcoin price has been dropping. So it was actually quite hard to raise this round of funding. But we did it mainly because we wanted to survive. We know that it might take a while for the Bitcoin price to rebound. It's kind of similar to the dot-com crash, right? The companies that actually had money were able to survive it and come out really strong on the other side of the crash. But if the Bitcoin price stays low for a long time, companies will run out of money. So we want to make sure that we don't run out of money. So one of the main reasons why we got $75 million is to last 2 years, and that was the goal. So even if the price stays low, the adoption stays low, we can still survive for 2 years, keep building out great products, and then come out ready for the next kind of Bitcoin boom. So that was the goal. The main use of the $75 million is to build out our exchange, try to make it the best, most secure, fastest exchange out there, and then also to kind of make our product more secure, expand internationally, and build out features.
Why did you decide to join Coinbase instead of working on a Litecoin project?
It's a good question. So I joined Coinbase a year and a half ago. And at that time, and even today, Litecoin is not really at a point where there's companies focused solely on Litecoin, or there's a point where I want to start a Litecoin company yet. So I know that in order for Litecoin to succeed, Bitcoin has to succeed first, right? If Bitcoin fails, Litecoin is not going to go anywhere. So I figured I can help Bitcoin succeed. I guess there's two goals why I decided to join Coinbase. One is I wanted to work on Bitcoin to help Bitcoin succeed, and Coinbase at that time, I realized it was one of the companies that was really making Bitcoin easy for people to use. Before Coinbase, it was really hard for like my dad to get into Bitcoin because it was so hard to secure the coins, it was hard to use it, and Coinbase really helped with that. And I wanted to join Coinbase and work on that. So once people finally understand Bitcoin and use it in day-to-day life, then Litecoin can come into the picture. So I realized that pretty early on. And then I also wanted, as a side goal, I also wanted to convince Coinbase to accept Litecoin when it's ready. So I kind of got my way into Coinbase, and we'll see if I can make that happen.
Why did Coinbase decide to build a tip button?
The tip button actually was interesting. It was a kind of a side project for an engineer. So the Nick Tomeno, or one of our biz dev guys, thought about doing a tip button. He thought that Coinbase doing a tip button would be interesting for blogs, for news articles, to kind of earn money instead of ads, and maybe we can even turn that into a micropayment platform, right? So we decided to kind of work on it and test it out. So a lot of stuff we do at Coinbase, we don't really think through a lot. We just some engineers really excited about something and decide to build it, and then we'll see if there's a market for it. So James Houdon, who was the engineer that built Tipman, spent some time on the side to build it out, and I thought he did a great job. So we don't know where we're going to take the tip button yet, but I guess we'll see.
Are you a member of Zapchain?
What's Zapchain? Yeah, I'm a member of Zapchain. I joined a few months ago. Some people at Coinbase, the engineers at Coinbase were really excited about Zapchain. They thought that it was cool to answer Bitcoin related questions and a lot of very interesting topics on Zapchain. And it has a pretty good community. So I use Zapchain quite a few times. And like, for example, when we launched the tip button, we posted a question to ask, like, what do people think about it? What can we do to improve it? We did the same thing with our exchange, and we got quite a bit of valuable information from it. And I really enjoyed how you guys integrated the tip button with it. I think it's pretty cool that if you give a useful answer, you get tipped. I've been tipping a lot on Zapchain too.